Buxton man charged with robbery and damage to property. Guyana Times, a 24-year-old man from Buxton, Casey Marshall, appeared before Acting Chief Magistrate Faith McGusty at the Georgetown Magistrates Court to face serious charges of robbery with violence and malicious damage to property. Marshall is accused of robbing Devon Charles of a gold chain while causing severe injuries, including fractures to the victim's skull and chest, during an incident that occurred on July 24, 2024, at Regent and Camp Streets, Georgetown. In addition to the robbery, he is alleged to have unlawfully damaged an iPhone 11 Pro Max belonging to Charles. During the court proceedings, Marshall pleaded not guilty to both charges. His attorney, Jevon Cox, applied for bail, emphasizing that his client had been cooperating with police since his arrest on August 9, 2024. Cox pointed out that Marshall was placed on $100,000 station bail and had been reporting regularly to the Albertown police station. He expressed concerns about the delay in bringing Marshall to court nearly 4 months after the alleged crime. Cox also highlighted Marshall's recent unemployment, his responsibilities as a father to 2 young children, and his voluntary appearance in court as compelling reasons for granting bail. However, the prosecution opposed the bail application, citing the severity of the charges and the significant penalties involved. They detailed the extent of the victim's injuries and noted that video evidence allegedly showed Marshall fleeing the scene. Additionally, the stolen jewelry has yet to be recovered. After considering both sides, Magistrate McGusty granted Marshall bail set at $120,000, $70,000 for the robbery with violence charge and $50,000 for the malicious damage to property charge. Casey Marshall is scheduled to return to court on January 17, 2025. Business owners victimized in home invasion, millions stolen. Guyana Times, a shocking home invasion at Molly's General Store has left local business owners traumatized and their residents devastated, with over $6 million in cash and valuables stolen. The incident occurred early Sunday morning when the proprietors were caught off guard. In an interview, the wife recounted the harrowing experience that unfolded after her husband heard a knock outside their home. "My husband thought it was rats in the ceiling, so he came outside with a mop stick to check," she explained. Unbeknownst to him, the attackers were already inside. When they heard the noise, they quickly cut through the ceiling, grabbed him, and overpowered him, she continued. They put a gun to his head and threatened to shoot if he didn't comply. The couple's ordeal escalated as the attackers tied the husband to a chair and demanded money. The wife described the terrifying moments. "They asked if we had a stash. I told them we didn't. Then they pushed me into a room where 2 men were waiting with guns." Fearing for their lives, the couple led the robbers to their cash reserves. After the first amount, they were unsatisfied and demanded more, she said. "We had to give them what they wanted to stay safe." In total, the thieves made off with over $6 million in cash, significant amounts of jewelry, and US dollars. At the time of the invasion, 5 people were in the home, including their son, who was also beaten and restrained. Molly's General Store, operating out of the lower flat of their residence, was targeted, though the robbers focused primarily on cash and valuables rather than business inventory. Local police are currently investigating the incident. The couple hopes that CCTV footage from their property will assist in identifying the criminals. However, they noted that the thieves cleverly entered through the back, avoiding the cameras located at the front. "They came through the back and entered from the roof, where there are no cameras," the wife remarked. As the investigation unfolds, police are urging anyone with information about the robbery to come forward. Crime Chief Blanhum reports significant success in dismantling criminal networks. News source Guyana, at the recent annual Christmas luncheon and award ceremony for the Criminal Investigations Department, CID, Crime Chief and Deputy Commissioner of Police Wendell Blanhum lauded the outstanding efforts of detectives in combating crime and dismantling several criminal networks throughout the year. Speaking at the event, Mr. Blanhum acknowledged the numerous challenges faced by officers during investigations, including prolonged hours away from their families and the demanding nature of high-profile cases. "Our ranks were confronted with challenges that required sleepless nights and long weekends. Yet, they rose to the occasion, demonstrating patience, commitment, deduction, and teamwork," he stated. The crime chief emphasized that the dedication of the CID has resulted in a remarkable year for crime fighting in the country. He highlighted that Guyana has recorded the lowest number of serious crimes in the past decade, with the murder rate also reaching its lowest point during this time. Additionally, 2024 has seen the highest number of illegal firearm seizures in 10 years, with 178 firearms confiscated by law enforcement. "Our dedicated investigators have made significant strides in dismantling criminal groups involved in carjacking and those targeting customers leaving commercial banks," Mr. Blanham reported. He attributed these successes to a motivated team of detectives, accurate and timely intelligence, and enhanced capacity building within the department. In closing, Blanhum urged his ranks to continue striving for excellence in the new year, assuring them that their efforts have not gone unnoticed by the leadership of the police force and the public. Cutlass gang invades Superbet, injures 2 in violent attack. Guyana news: businessman Claude Stewart is calling for justice following a brutal invasion of a Superbet outlet at Costello housing scheme on Thursday. During the attack, a gang armed with cutlasses assaulted Stewart's wife and a customer, leaving both injured. The shocking incident was captured on security cameras mounted on nearby buildings. In the aftermath, Stewart expressed his frustration over the slow police response and took to social media, uploading footage of the attack on Facebook to raise awareness and seek justice. According to reports, the gang violently attacked the customer, inflicting multiple chop wounds to his back. Outnumbered, the customer sought refuge inside the Superbet, but the assailants forced their way in, continuing the brutal assault. Stewart's wife, who was behind a counter during the attack, was also assaulted. Reports indicate she was beaten with what appeared to be a shotgun and threatened with death. In the chaos, one of the attackers sustained injuries during the confrontation. His accomplices assisted him in escaping the scene, while Stewart's wife managed to flee through the front door, allowing the customer to hide and secure himself inside the establishment. The gang returned briefly but left when they were unable to locate him. The customer later emerged with severe injuries, including a badly disfigured arm. Investigations are ongoing as authorities work to apprehend the individuals involved in this violent crime. GTU President Dr. Mark Lyte threatens legal action over suspension. Guyana news: Dr. Mark Lyte, president of the Guyana Teachers Union, GTU, has announced his intention to challenge the recent suspension imposed on him and Second Vice President Julian Cambridge, calling the decision unconstitutional. The suspension was enacted following a meeting of the union's General Council last Tuesday, reportedly due to the executive's acceptance of a 10% salary increase for teachers from the government in August. Dr. Lyte expressed concerns over the legality of the motion, stating that it breaches several rules outlined in the GTU's constitution. In comments to Guyana News, Dr. Lyte said, "It has been 6 days since the motion was moved, and no official statement has been provided detailing the reasons for the suspension or its duration." He emphasized that proper procedures, akin to those followed by the Ministry of Education in cases of alleged misconduct, require written explanations for suspensions. Dr. Lyte asserted that all actions taken regarding the salary agreement were conducted in accordance with the Constitution and the union's General Council decisions. If this suspension relates to the signing of that agreement, it will be wholly misconceived, he added. He has reached out to the union for clarification but has yet to receive a response. "I've been waiting patiently for their response, and it has been 6 days and counting," Dr. Lyte stated. A source close to the situation criticized the motion as ill-conceived and lacking legal basis, arguing that it unfairly targets Dr. Lyte and Cambridge. The source suggested that if the suspension is indeed linked to the pay agreement, all members involved in the negotiations should face similar consequences, implying a lack of fairness in the process. Furthermore, the source indicated that the motion to suspend cannot be rectified by another General Council meeting, as it requires a special Congress for such changes, suggesting a political motive behind the decision. Dr. Lyte previously signed a multi-year agreement with the government that included a 10% salary increase for teachers for 2024, along with additional benefits. This agreement has faced criticism from several teachers, as it contradicted earlier positions taken by the union.